now having this thing on the lift, it actually just comes out this way. So now I can show you guys exactly what happened. Look, right here it's cracked. And then you can see that it's separating from where it was. Especially since there's no bolt on this side. It's also cracked on this side too. It did the best that it could do. I'm gonna go ahead and triangulate this. I'll probably machine this part down and get some polyurethane or some rubber underneath here.
What we want to do is cut this right here now and bring it up the amount of the thickness of whatever material we can find. Both arms go up, it'll give us more stability, and then we'll triangulate from there.
So over here we like propane and propane accessories. We're making a little airplane. These ears and this bottom piece were all one piece machined, and this piece was a separate piece machined with like 6 small M6 bolts to go bolt into there. It was a really quick and shitty design. That's pretty much, you know, how it came out. I welded it to kind of strengthen it. That didn't help out because it's just so like it's weak. So what we're doing is we're moving them up so we could put these are actually going to be the rubber mounts that we put in between there. Got those, and Rob cleaned those up real nice for me. I'm welding this back onto here. We're going to triangulate it so that way it's strong. Hopefully it doesn't break again.
Yeah, that triangulation will be real nice from here to there. Because we noticed both wings popped, like they were doing some wild shit.
Yeah, so you can actually see this side got more torque, and I believe that's because the engine turns like this, right?
The engine spins this way. From the front motor, intake, combustion, exhaust. So when it spins this way, the drive shaft's going to fight that. So the engine's going to want to turn this way, which would cause this one to pull up.
This one was the more... Yeah. So this bottom piece was pulled pretty hard, so that's why I have these clamps pushing this in, because this is actually bent down here. This one was actually cracked way into here. You can see where I kind of messed with it. This one, you could barely see the crack anymore. But we're good to go. We're just going to triangulate, do a little weld, heat it up. It's going to be brand new. You guys are going to get triangulated. Backside, I can fill it up with weld. Inside, I can fill it up for... Fuck yeah. Okay. We have the version 2 of this engine mount from whatever year it was produced in. Back, and it's better triangulated, brought up so we could put some rubber mounts on it so that way it's not solidly mounted. I mean, I'm not strong enough. Are you strong enough to break this?
The important part about this is that when I originally made the goal was to have it where that was just basically holding the engine roughly in place. I never bolted it down because I was eventually going to get to putting rubber mounts on it, and that never happened. And so when they bolted it down, being professional, we created a very hard-mounted engine, which actually didn't feel bad without any rubberized engine mount, yet that ended up snapping the very thing that was trying to help it.
Oh, and this light, oh, I'm stuck right there. Okay, pry bars. Fuck yeah. Oh wait, I need to make these holes bigger. Some jobs just have to get done.
Isaiah's got it all back together. Finally about time to test the engine mounts and the, what was the other thing we worked on?
Yeah, the engine mounts and the clutch.
It's such a small moment, but it's such a huge moment because our list is getting very small on what the car needs done. So this is quite an interesting moment to see how she will treat us.
I don't know if you guys know this, but this was a museum delivery car.
Yeah.
Did we ever mention that?
Well, those people that would have seen it the first 2 episodes of this car ever would have seen that.
I saw the badge the other day on the, I said, oh wow.
Yeah, there's a badge underneath it, and then there's a badge right here. The NCM, good old Corvette Museum. Well, Well, this is a weird twist of events. I'm having air vent through the shop because we opened that gas tank that was filled with old, nasty gas, and so the shop just smelled bad, so I had the massive fan running. And as the night wore on, I just got that heebie-jeebies. I got that weird feeling that, okay, something's weird. And so I go to turn off the fan and shut the garage door, and I'm met with my new friend. Not to say that anything particularly bad happened. I feel like the situation was diffused, and so I'm not worried about that aspect. But all of the obvious signs were there for something that was less than ideal. This is 1:30 in the morning. Let's be realistic. I don't expect to be making new friends at that time when somebody is wearing gloves and just running their bike right into the back of my shop. Even though he was holding a hammer, it ended up rather well. The very first thing I could think of doing as soon as this started happening was pressing the little button on my SimpliSafe thing that just says panic. That's exactly what my brain was doing. I would definitely want to be not anywhere near an alarm, and of course the opportunity for police to now show up automatically. That's why I love working with SimpliSafe. There's all the cool extra features. We can talk about the cameras, the motion sensing, the door sensors, all that sort of stuff, which is awesome for my peace of mind while I'm not in the shop. But even in cases like this, it is while I'm in the shop. I didn't realize that would be a thing, but it is now a thing. Well, this partnership was actually supposed to show you all my cats at home and how I can watch them, and again, make sure that all their food is good with the cameras from anywhere across the world. That's not what transpired. A really cool mode of the whole SimpliSafe system that I use very often. When I am here, I do put it in home mode, and it makes sure that the doors, if they're closed, they stay closed. Otherwise, I know about it almost immediately. And that's one of the coolest things about SimpliSafe is that there are so many options and ways to customize it and different things you can monitor. All of that works well to tailor it to what you need. If you're interested in learning more about what SimpliSafe can do for your situation, not just mine, now is probably actually the best time to do that because they have their Black Friday sale and there's 50% or more off of their award-winning system. So if you're interested in doing that, go to simplisafe.com/RobDahm to learn more. That's simplisafe.com/RobDahm. Let's hope that doesn't have to happen again. Two really small things. One is that all the squealing you hear is actually the oil from the catch can that doesn't exist hitting the belt. That is sadly sounds like what used to be, but it's actually just a temporary problem. Second thing is that the power steering for some reason isn't on. And third thing though is the clutch is so much better. I think I wore out the clutch fingers a little bit from using too hard of a push because the previous one would shove way too much clutch in and out. That said, you can tell it was already slipping that little bit amount like you would want. We just have to adjust where in the pedal we feel that. It's right at the last second. So you hear me, finally. So we'll adjust that, but oh my God, what better clutch feel. We're just gonna check the power steering real quick, warm her up and take a couple of pulls.
This is a 40 amp fuse for the power steering, and for whatever reason, it drawed more amps than it needed, and it popped. So we just gotta replace this guy and we'll have power steering again.
I've got a 50 amp, and the wiring's all rated for it, but...
Well, someone told me that it has an internal 80 amp fuse.
Yeah, I read that too. But obviously if my wiring shorts, I want to be able to.
Yeah. What could have shorted the wiring, though?
Well, nothing. No, it's the pump pulled more than 40 amps.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, we're back. Okay, let's do some pulls.
Let's go.
Yeah, I'm like waiting for the pedal to engage.
So the clutch rod isn't adjusted, so we just gotta adjust that, and that'll make it engage a lot sooner. Be careful for oil pressure. We never checked how much oil is in there. So.
Oh yeah, I got it right here.
Okay, perfect.
This is full boost. Just kidding.
You get out of here, pizza boy. The street's closed.
We'll wait for this guy to do whatever the hell he's doing, and then we'll do a pull. But everything's feeling amazing. fun car. I got some transient throttle stuff to do, but it's hilarious watching out of the corner of my eye, watching the odometer getting pegged. We'll film more of that during daylight, but oh my god, and I haven't even pushed it. Like, I think my rev limiter is 8,000 right now. Car is running smooth. We'll adjust where the pedal comes in at. Other than that, it's so drivable.
I gotta do what Isaiah does. Gotta live it up to the RX-7 name.
That's kind of the first time we've actually put with the car. Finally burning some
Oh
stuff
my
off.
god, no. You need to fix your tune ASAP.
Ooh. Okay, that's
Jesus.
I didn't check that part of the map. Well, we've already done a burnout, just a fun little drifting there. It still hasn't been dialed in. So we've got a couple extra sensors we've added. I'm gonna go ahead and do a couple of my famous little pulls here, check to see what's going on. Feels good, but it's hard to do it at night. You know, this camera is phenomenal at night shots, but it just doesn't, I don't know, you can't see everything that's going on. So I'm gonna go ahead and tune it a little bit here before we go on our next major journey.
I didn't honestly think I was slipping that much.
A nice little pull, just shows you that the car's definitely got it. It's got a little too much of it. You know what that means? We got to dyno it. There's definitely a lot of excitement for me, a little bit of nervousness because this is a lot more of a thorough job I have to do. So this isn't just making one big power pull. It's really refining this car because we got some people we got to call out. So this thing's pretty solid. There's some frustrations, but I would suspect any major engine swap car would have some minor things, and that's kind of the fun part of the challenge. I mean, there's teams of engineers that spend their life making this car the original version that we all complain about. It rides smooth, drives hard, but it's time to show just how much juice this thing's got.